you finally lost some weight. I was wondering when you would. Yeah, that's good on you. Would you still say thank you again?
No,
Yeah, what would you say?
that's rude.
Whenever somebody is insulting you, we have this ability to get really mad and stew on it and get angry. But best way to do it is, let's say if you told me, I really think you're an idiot, Jefferson. Give it a little bit of silence, and I would repeat, I'm an idiot, Jefferson. Now it's gonna put a spotlight right back on you for you to confirm it, double down on it, or you're gonna apologize. A lot of time in arguments, people take it back. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that. I got too in front of it. But if they double down on it, all you need to do is just thank them. Thank you. In other words, thank you for showing me who you are. Thank you for making sure that I'm not gonna be with you anymore, and this is who you are in my life. Very different from, let's say, with somebody who is belittling you, patronizing you, being condescending to you. This is where it gets fun. This is one of my favorite ones. Oh, Steven, I see that you lost some weight. That's great, man. Good for you. How would you typically want to respond to that?
Thank you.
Yeah. Now, if I had said something that was a little bit more ugly, if it was like, oh, you finally lost some weight. I was wondering when you would. Yeah, that's good on you. Would you still say thank you again?
No,
Yeah, what would you say?
that's rude.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. You'd be like, oh, okay, that's a little offensive. So here's what I would want you to do. Add silence. We're gonna have 5 to 7 seconds of silence. And what that does is allow them, their words to fall. So it's gonna, one, tell you that their words aren't threatening. You're adding that space in there for 2 reasons. One, to calm you down, because you can be using that breath we talked about. Second of all, it allows them to hear their words back, because it's like they walk their words out onto a plank and now they're all alone.
Every young man will experience anger. Someone will disrespect him. Someone will disappoint him. Someone will betray his trust. Something will happen that isn't fair. And there will be moments when anger feels justified. But there is a difference between feeling anger and allowing anger to become your leader. Anger can tell you that something matters, but anger was never meant to make every decision for you. A man who cannot govern himself can eventually become governed by whatever emotion is strongest in the moment, and that's dangerous, because anger can make a temporary situation produce permanent consequences. It can make a man say something he cannot take back, walk away from something he should have protected, destroy something he spent years building, or turn a disagreement into an enemy he never needed. Today, a father sits down with his son to talk about one of the most important forms of strength a man can develop, the ability to remain in control of himself when everything inside him wants to react. The story. The son came through the front door angry. His father could tell immediately. His footsteps were heavier than usual. He dropped his keys on the table. His jaw was tight. His breathing was short. His father looked up. What happened? The son shook his head. I don't want to talk about it. The father nodded. All right. The son walked toward the kitchen, then stopped. Dad? His father looked at him. My boss embarrassed me today. What happened? He called me out in front of everybody. I did everything he asked me to do, and then he made it seem like I wasn't competent. His father listened. The son continued. I wanted to tell him exactly what I thought about him, but I didn't. The father smiled. That's good. The son looked surprised. Good? I was furious. I know. I wanted to quit. I know. I wanted to send him a message tonight and tell him exactly how I feel. The father paused. And have you sent it? No. Good. The son shook his head. I don't understand. I feel like I'm letting him get away with disrespecting me. The father leaned back. No, son. You're giving yourself time to decide what deserves a response. The father's wisdom. Son, your anger isn't your enemy, but it cannot be your master. Anger can tell you that something is wrong. It can tell you that you've been hurt. It can tell you that a boundary has been crossed. But anger doesn't always tell you what to do next. That's where self-control comes in. A man has to be able to feel something strongly without allowing that feeling to control his behavior. That's real strength. The practical benefit of self-control. The father looked directly at his son. You know what self-control gives a man? Time. Time between what you feel and what you do. And sometimes that little bit of time is the difference between wisdom and regret. When you're angry, everything feels immediate. You feel like you have to answer now, defend yourself now, respond now, make them understand now. But life doesn't require every emotion to become an immediate action. Sometimes the strongest thing a man can do is wait until his emotions have settled enough for his judgment to speak. When anger becomes the leader. The father continued, anger becomes dangerous when it stops being something you experience and starts becoming something you obey. That's when a man stops asking what's wise and starts asking, how can I make them feel what I feel? That's a dangerous place. Because once revenge becomes the objective, wisdom becomes an inconvenience. And once pride takes over, consequences become somebody else's problem. The son listened. His father continued, never let somebody else's behavior determine the kind of man you become. What anger can cost you? Think about how many things a man can destroy in one angry moment. A marriage, a friendship, a career, a reputation, a business, a relationship with his children, years of trust, years of work, years of respect, all because he allowed one moment to speak louder than everything he had built. The father paused. Your anger may be understandable, but understandable doesn't always mean useful. Understanding what your anger is trying to tell you. The father looked at his son. Before you try to control your anger, you need to understand it. Sometimes anger is covering hurt. Sometimes it's covering embarrassment. Sometimes it's fear. Sometimes it's disappointment. Sometimes it's pride. And sometimes a man is angry because something touched a wound he hasn't dealt with. The son became quiet. The father continued. That's why the real work isn't simply learning how to look calm. Anybody can look calm. The real work is learning what is happening inside you when you become angry. Ask yourself, what am I actually angry about? Is it what happened, or is it what happened made you feel about yourself? Am I angry because I was wronged, or because I wasn't respected? Those can feel similar, but they may require very different responses. What does my anger want me to do? Does it want you to attack, withdraw, punish, prove yourself, get even? Understanding the impulse gives you the opportunity to choose something wiser. What could I lose if I react emotionally? A moment of satisfaction could cost years of progress. Who am I becoming when I'm angry? This may be the most important question, because your character isn't only revealed when everything is going well, it's revealed when you're provoked. The father's challenge. Son, I don't want you to become a man who never gets angry. That's not strength. I want you to become a man who knows what to do with his anger. There's a difference. Anybody can explode. Anybody can shout. Anybody can walk away. But a man who can remain steady when he's provoked, that's different. That's a man who governs himself. When to speak and when to wait. The father looked at his son. Sometimes you need to speak. Sometimes you need to confront something. Sometimes somebody really did cross a line. Self-control doesn't mean becoming passive. It doesn't mean allowing people to mistreat you. It means you choose your response instead of surrendering your response to your emotions. There's power in knowing that you don't have to answer every offense immediately. Some things deserve a response. Some things deserve distance. Some things deserve forgiveness. And some things aren't worth giving another minute of your life. Wisdom is knowing the difference. The turning point. The son looked at his father. So what should I do about my boss? The father smiled. You're asking the right question now. What question?
Not how do I get even, but what is the wisest response? The son nodded. The father continued, "You're allowed to be angry. You're allowed to be disappointed. You're allowed to recognize that what happened was wrong. But don't give another man control over your character simply because he gave you a reason to be angry. Let him own what he did. You own what you do next." The deeper lesson. The father stood up and walked toward the kitchen. Then he turned back toward his son. "Son, your life is going to give you plenty of reasons to be angry. People will disappoint you. Some people will be unfair. Some people will misunderstand you. Some people will intentionally provoke you. You cannot control all of that, but you can control who you become in response. That's why self-control is so important. It protects your future from your worst moments. It protects your relationships from your temporary emotions. It protects your purpose from distractions, and it protects your character from becoming a reflection of the people who hurt you. Final words from father to son. The father looked at his son. "Son, your strength isn't proven by how loudly you can respond. It's proven by how well you can govern yourself. Don't let anger make decisions that your wisdom will have to live with. Don't let another person's behavior determine your character. And never confuse self-control with weakness. A man who can control himself has something many powerful men never acquire. He has command of himself." The son nodded. He picked up his phone. He looked at the message he had planned to send. Then he put the phone back down. His father smiled. "That's strength."
Closing reflection. A man doesn't become strong because he never feels anger. He becomes strong when anger no longer controls him. Self-control gives a man the ability to pause before he destroys. It gives him room to think before he speaks. It gives him perspective before he reacts, and it allows him to decide whether something deserves his energy at all. There will always be moments when you could explode, but you don't have to. There will always be people who give you reasons to lose your temper, but they don't get to decide whether you lose yourself. The real victory isn't always defeating the person who made you angry. Sometimes the victory is refusing to become a person you don't respect because somebody provoked you.
Anybody can react. A man with self-control can choose. And sometimes the most powerful thing a man can do is refuse to let his anger decide who he becomes. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Peace.